Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on some DC news. And over the past few days, I've been in the middle of what was meant to be a tropical cyclone, but then was downgraded to a normal cyclone, and almost to the point where I think everyone, well, no one panicked over the top. But I don't know if you've seen it. Obviously, if you're in Australia, you know about it. But where I was, it was meant to be like almost like the center point of it, where shit was meant to go down. I was very lucky. Nothing did. The only bad thing is that phone service, internet service, and well, those both went down. So I've been living like a caveman. I had to read a book. That was interesting. God, I forgot I could read. And yeah, so that happened, and there's been a lot of rain. So at least knock on wood, nothing bad happened. So at least where I was, but. I guess it didn't matter because not much came out. Nothing overly interesting came out DC news wise, but there's been some little mouse crumbs came out, and it's worth touching upon and talking about. Especially one thing which will be interesting to see how that might impact stuff going forward. But yeah, we'll have a discussion about it right now in this video. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything we go over. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, drop a like, takes 2 seconds. So the first thing to talk about today is Clayface. Now, Clayface is rumored to start filming in June. I think that came out earlier today or late yesterday. Once again, internet for me is like finding water in the desert. If I get a signal, wow, I'm jumping on. But it's meant to be filming in June. That's like the rough start date for the film, which makes sense considering when it's meant to come out, and it gives them time and everything like that. It lines up for the most part. But something that came out is that Clayface was reportedly planned as a villain, not the villain. They're not saying the, but a villain in the Batman 2. I guess it's almost like how Penguin's a villain in the first Batman, but he's not the villain. That's, of course, the Riddler. Now, this has been reported for a while. Like, this is like something that was out there, like a rumored villain and everything for the second Batman film, but also wasn't confirmed as the main villain in the second Batman film as well. So it's a bit flexible whether the villain could be there. You probably just exchange whatever was meant to happen with him with another character, which might be what they're doing. But the idea of Clayface being a villain was then shifted into a Reeveverse, as in Matt Reeves's universe spin-off, like we have, I guess, with the Penguin, before turning into the DCU project of Clayface. Of course, this film and this story will be set in the world of the DCU, in the same universe as Superman, as Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, as Lanterns, as Peacemaker Season 2, and all those different things. Now, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that because I don't really want villain-focused things, at least to start off with in this main DCU. If you want to do villain stuff like we had with Joker, then do it Elseworlds. I don't necessarily think we have to have it as especially one of the first, it's going to be the third movie that comes out in this DCU, and it's focusing on a villain. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I'm also a optimist when it comes to things, so I'd like to just wait and see how it plays out, because it might work really, really well in regards to the shape of the DCU, though I think it's probably going to be like on the side, if that makes sense. It's almost like going to be like on the edge of Elseworlds, if that makes sense. But I'm still interested to see how it plays out. But this is why Matt Reeves is producing it, because when this news came out about them confirming the Clayface film, Matt Reeves, and I think also his producing partner, were put down as producers, and everyone was like, well, hold on, does that mean he's going to be attached to everything Batman related? Anything that touches Gotham, he's going to be a part of it? Well, it's no, because he originally came up with the idea for Clayface, and I guess maybe his backstory, which is being shifted into this DCU project that we're going to see late next year, in September 11th, I think it's actually coming out. So this isn't necessarily like all ridiculously new information, but it's piecing together everything and also confirming it. All this stuff is being sort of like put together and like, yep, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And that's where we're now at this point where this Clayface movie in the DCU is being made. It's of course it's been written by Mike Flanagan. It's been directed by, I think, James Watkins, off the top of my head is the guy's name. And then of course we're looking for the actor to play Clayface. So this is definitely on the lower end in regards to excitement I have, but it's also something that I'm curious about to see whether it works or not. And also, if it works, I think you'll see a bunch of other films like this, whether they are villain focused or just smaller character focused, where you can have this real, focused in story, sort of like what we had with the first Joker film. Then also what we could see, might I say, with Clayface at the end of next year. But the second thing to talk about is another Batman-related thing, and this is relating to the Batman 2, and this is Robert Pattinson on, sort of the delays and the just general filming of this second Batman, because, it was meant to start filming, a while ago. It's been delayed, then delayed, then delayed again. And this film itself, being delayed is also pushing back the Batman Brave and the Bold film, which is going to be set in the DCU. So this being delayed is also delaying whatever they want to do with Batman in the main universe. So there's a lot of pressure around it, but this is what he had to say in regards to, the movie and everything like that. He goes, I effing hope so. I started out as young Batman and I'm going to be effing old Batman by the sequel. And yes, that is like a joke. I guess it's also going online. But I mean, Robert Pattinson doesn't look too much older than he did back when the first Batman came out or when it was just filming in general. So I don't really have too much concerns about that. It's mainly, I guess, where the second one picks up. Because originally it was meant to pick up like 1 year after or something, or even not that long after. I do wonder if that shifts, but I mean, makeup's a thing. He's wearing a bat cowl as well for a lot of it. Maybe it's supporting characters where maybe that's a concern. Like someone that was maybe like 55 when they filmed the first one is now going to be 60. Maybe there's issues there, but with him specifically, I don't think it's too much of a concern. But it will be interesting to see how the movie plays out because, if the movie doesn't deliver, or maybe it doesn't deliver exactly how people want it, then they'll blame, the delays. They go, oh, it was bad because of the delays, or we should have seen it coming because it was delayed so far they didn't know what they were doing. But we've heard there's stuff going on behind the scenes, and they're meant to start filming by the end of the year. So within the next 9 months, roughly, you'd hope probably 7 or 8 months. So they're not starting on Christmas Day or something like that. But we're not too far away from them starting, which is a good thing. It's just going to be interesting to see how it all plays out and if there's been any changes due to those delays when it comes to the story and at least where it picks up from where we ended in the first Batman, I guess even technically the Penguin. Now, one of the more random stories that came out over the past handful of days was the fact that the DC YouTube channel was hacked by like a teenager and he changed everything. I guess the silver lining with this is that, well, it has to be said that the channel was like taken down. It was like privated and everything like that while they sorted out the issue. I guess the most interesting thing and a silver lining with it is that from what I could tell looking online, the guy who hacked it didn't delete any of the things because of course the Superman trailer wasn't at 60 million, but it was approaching it. I think it was at like 56, 57 million or something. So it's really close to hitting that 60 million mark. And that's the main place they uploaded the trailer. So if you type in Superman, that was the first result, the DC YouTube channel, amongst other things that they're posting there to advertise the DC brand, whether it's with the comics, the TV stuff, the movie stuff, whatever, or just, even like podcasts and everything like that. So pretty concerning that happened, and I'd assume that there's going to be more security added to that channel going forward, so something like that doesn't happen. But there's a silver lining, I guess, that from what I can tell, before it was like privated so they could deal with it, none of the stuff was deleted. Though I do wonder, because I don't know how it works, because I know I'm a YouTuber and stuff like that, but I've never deleted a video and then asked YouTube to undelete it. I'd assume that there'd be like backup servers and stuff like that, so if someone accidentally deletes like a big video, whether it is just a big YouTuber like, I don't know, like Mr. Beast or something, or a company like Marvel, DC, goddamn Pringles, I don't know, something like that. If they delete a big video, they can get it back. You'd think you'd be able to. You think there's like some sort of like 30-day window or something where you can revive a video that you deleted. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But from what I can tell, silver lining, that did not happen. But the final thing to talk about is in regards to Batman once again. It's pretty much all Batman in this, no surprise. Jesus Christ. DC, Batman. Can we talk about something else? Anyway, Batman. So Alan Richardson, I always thought it was Richardson. I don't know why. Is there another actor that has the last name Richardson? But I've always called him Alan Richardson, as in Richer, as if there's an I between the H and the S. But apparently it's just Alan Richardson. I feel like an idiot now, but apparently that's his name. So anyway, Alan Richardson, not Richardson, but of course he was Aquaman in Smallville, played Hawk in Titans. He said, you wouldn't even have to pay me to play Batman in the DCU. Now, he is one of the fan casts. I would prefer him over that, was it Brandon Sklena? I think that's one of the, when the people talk about like industry plants, like that guy and all those fan casts, that feels like the biggest industry plan of all my, like I've never heard of the guy, and now every man and their dog, or at least on Twitter, wants him to play Batman. I'm like, who is this dude? I've never heard of him in my entire life. But I probably prefer Alan Richardson, especially because he's different. He looks like, especially when in like Creature Commandos, when we saw that Batman there and he was like yoked up, like looked like he was on the roids, on the gear and everything like that. Alan Richardson would be able to play like at least that stature of Batman. I haven't watched Reacher. I've heard it's really good though. I might have to eventually get around to watching it. Just I'm lazy. And also it's on Amazon. I don't have Amazon Prime. Yeah. So I don't have that. So I haven't watched it. But I mean, he sort of looks the role. So, and he, you know, I've seen him in, you know, most recently in like Titans, and I guess you could argue like some of his like some aspects of his performance in Titans with Hawk and stuff could play into like what he would do with Batman. I'm just interested to see what angle they go down with Batman the DCU, because they need to differ it from the Pattinson version. Though I don't think that's going to be too hard, because of course he's playing like a very like like the Pattinson version, of course, is like a grungy like. I don't know if emo's the word, like grungy. I think like I know the whole thing is like it's based off like or it's styled after like Kurt Cobain and stuff. So I guess grungy is probably the best term to use. But you know, like grungy, not really punky, but like a almost like a I guess gothic. I don't know if you want to put it that way, but you got to differ from that. And maybe like Alan Richardson just playing this like brawler Batman would be pretty cool. But yeah, I guess it just matters like would he work with David Corenswet's Superman? I think that's an important relationship you have to have. Does that Batman work alongside the Superman that they already have? And that might be one of the testing grounds for when they do eventually cast Batman. You know, Gunn might already have the Batman casting done. He might go, yeah, I already know who's playing him. I already know who's playing Wonder Woman as well. I already know who's playing Martian Manhunter. It's just that he doesn't have to announce them because there's no projects for them to be attached to. So it's more of like when Momoa was cast as Aquaman, didn't you have to keep it secret for like 3 years or 2 years or something before it was announced? Maybe it could be something very, very similar to that. So yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and everything we went over in this video. Always curious to hear what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.